All right, good morning, people. Today we're looking at Tizzy here. It's looking pretty good. We had it run up from 98 cents all the way to a high of $1.84. It's still sitting up pretty high. We're right on that VWAP line. If we break down from VWAP on open, we'll likely head back down to that 200 EMA. We've got HYFM also looking pretty good, going from about 419 to a high there of 540. Just bounced off VWAP. We took a play on it, went as high as 495. Hopefully, took some profits there and left a runner. We've got BBBY here for Bed Bath & Beyond. Also looking pretty good. This one's a Wall Street's bet thing that kind of popped up, so figured we'd take a look at it. If it looks playable today, we'll probably play it. So far, so good, going from about $13 to $15. Not a huge range, but might break out further. HLBZ, a runner from the past week, went from $1.30 today to $1.80. So decent range there, looking good, heading up to that VWAP right before open. So hopefully when the market opens, it breaks through VWAP and starts to run, and we'll take a play on that. SPRC went from about $1.14 to a high there of $1.59. Again, a good range. It has slowly been breaking down. We are very close to that 200 EMA, so we're looking for a 200 EMA bounce there. UBX is something we played the other day. It wasn't a major downtrend, but looks today like it's pretty flat, going from a low here of $1.42 to a high of $1.60. So the range is pretty slim here, might be playable. We've got V here, which was a good gainer the other day. So we went from 730 here to a high of just under $9, decent range. I don't normally like playing $8 stocks, but this one was pretty good to us, so maybe we'll play it again. AMPG was looking pretty decent here, but it did actually start to break down, so I guess more than likely we'll be waiting for a breakdown either off of this support line, or we'll wait for a bounce off the 200 EMA. We've got Megal here, which is also looking pretty good, going from $8 to a high of 10. It's got a decent range to it. Again, not really too much of a fan of this $10 range, but we'll see. If something starts to run, we'll definitely take a play off it. Tizzy opening up, all right. We've got BBBY opening up down. HLBZ heading to 200. And this is when I want to take off the 200, so that's what we're going to do. HLBZ, $1.52 ish. We're gonna go for a dollar, maybe $1.70, and then $1.48 stop. You might have to get a little higher, depending where you get in, but basically speaking, here we're looking for a VWAP bounce, so $1.55 is okay. If we get $1.55, we're gonna give it about 4 cents, so we're gonna go to $1.51 for a stop line there. Get rid of that. That's an old stop. So we'll see about that. SPRC still looking. We're going to move that up too, which HYFM as well. SPRC did not break or did not bounce off that 200. We've got UBX not bouncing. We also have V here looking like it's breaking down as well a little bit. We're going to see if this can come back. AMPG still sitting there. Megal down to that VWAP almost. That could be an opportunity to take a play. And we have HYFM almost back at that $5 mark. HLBC starting to break down here at $1.54, $1.52. We don't want to be in this if it's breaking down, so I'm going to exit. Cutting HLBC broke down from 200 EMA. Not something we wanted to see on this stock, so maybe if it breaks back above, we'll take another play, but I'd rather take a less risky exit here and jump back in later, especially if we can take like a really minimal loss on it. That would be great. HYFM still looking good. BBBY looks like it might be coming back here after breaking down. SPRC continues this breakdown. UBX also might come back here. V as well. AMPG still breaking down. We're going to be looking at a 200 EMA bounce off of this for AMPG here. However, we are lower than most of that volume, so that could be a problem. Mego looks like it might bounce off this VWAP line. This could be a play from 950. I don't know though, like how high we can even take that, so I'm not really too keen on taking a play off that. Other than that, we're just going to watch carefully here and see what happens with these stocks before we start taking any rash plays. Let's see. V's looking pretty good at the bottom of this band. It is sitting on a support line. I think this is going to be our next play. VEE. We're going to go for an probably 8.25 is where the optimal place to get in would be. I'd like to aim for at least $9 out of it. And then we'll go for an 8, maybe an 8.10 stop. So we're only going to give it 15 cents. We don't want to see it break down too far from where it already has. So 8.10 is plenty of room, especially with the slim range we have here. So we're only looking for a $9 PT. We'll probably likely take profits now near the high here of 8.70, and we'll let the rest run if that's the case. Okay, so far so good. We're at 8.50 on that. HYFM still struggling. Top band coming in pretty tight there at 9 or 4.95. So it looks like we've hit 4.95 a couple times now. So hopefully you've had some time to secure some profits. HLBZ, it is holding here. It is holding. The one thing we are missing on HLBZ is actually the MACD and volume here. So usually, there you go. Yeah, usually if you click twice, it brings it back up. It's looking okay. MACD is curling. I think we're okay to jump. We're going to look for about $1.50 entry. We're going to go for $1.65 PT and then $1.40, $1.46 stop out. So we're going to give it a little bit of room. $1.46 should be right here. And we'll see what happens with that. We're going to go ahead and move that stop. We'll see what happens here. Hopefully we start to see some profits on HLBZ here pretty quickly. HYFM looks like it's just dipping down to that stop, so maybe you stopped out on that runner. V all the way up past that 470 or 875 mark. That's where we want to take some profit, so make sure you do that somewhere around that area. We are near that high, just really close to that pre-market high there. So make sure you do take that profit while it's there. I do think we will hit $9 here eventually, but it's kind of impossible to say, so we want to make sure we're securing at least something off this. HLBZ with another slight breakdown, 149. That's pretty close to where we want to get in. 150 is where we're aiming, so 149 is not terrible. I'm not going to move the stop down, though. I'm still okay with the 146 because that is just below that final support line. So if we do break down from here, definitely would like to stop out on that and not go down any further with it. BBBY continues to break down. Tizzy here not really doing a whole lot. HYFM's back up pretty dramatically. UBX looks like it's hit a floor here. Might be walking its way back up. We've got V still sitting up pretty high. AMPG not really doing a whole lot. And Megal, it didn't do a VWAP bounce. It did drop lower. Not really to a support line or anything, which is kind of weird. But again, not really a large range to play, so we'll likely just stay away from that. HLBZ back up to $1.50, and HYFM looking pretty good here as it reaches 485 again. We should have actually taken play off this bottom band here, 460, but we'll see. Maybe we'll get another opportunity. Top band starting to open up, which is definitely a good sign. We're going to see if HLBZ can actually bounce here, if we're going to be in a downtrend all day with this stock. Yeah, rip BBBY. Yeah, no kidding. Yeah, not even Wall Street's bets can keep it up now. Tizzy's still struggling here. I do think we're going to probably break down lower on this, probably down to that 200 EMA, and maybe that's where we'll try and take a play off that. HYFM looking okay. BBBY, it's doing okay, I guess. I want to make sure we're not missing anything. We got BL or BCLI here, so we're going to take a look at that. Did have a little bit of a run up here going from 410 to 470. So we have a decent range on BCLI. Pre-market looks like crap, but I mean, if we've got volume now and movement now, we'll just take it as is. We did have AMPG bounce off that 200 EMA. Looks like it's sitting up a little bit here. I'm not really too sure on this one. It's looking okay, but nothing fantastic. I'm not really seeing anything I really like there. We'll see if BCLI can do a 200 EMA or VWAP bounce here. It's quite possible. HLBZ, we're now in profits on it slightly. We'll give everything a couple minutes here and see where it's headed. V did hit that high of just about 480 or 880, sorry, all the way back down to 830. Looks like it's recovering again. Tizzy here with a little bit of a boost. HLBZ still struggling, but looking okay. UBX with a nice push up, going from $1.53 to $1.57. Still not too keen on buying in just yet, but maybe if we see another pullback down to that 200 EMA that bounces, that could be something. And PG still watching. BCLI looks like it broke down from that VWAP line. I'm not really sure if it'll break down further. If it does, you're likely looking at a complete breakdown here as that MACD is getting very close to that zero threshold. Tizzy's looking all right here. If we can break through that resistance, it might actually start forming an uptrend. HLBZ still at $1.51. We could try for a Tizzy play, I guess. Might not be the worst idea. Tizzy, I'd like to get in $1.55. I'm not really sure if that'll happen. Should happen though, but $1.55 is pretty close. We're gonna try for $1.70, and then $1.50, maybe $1.52 stop. Yeah, we'll give it $1.52. You might be able to give it an extra cent if you need to, but I don't know if it's completely necessary. There's $1.54 there. Tizzy. Okay, $1.51 entry. All right, that was a lot lower than I thought I was going to get. So I guess $1.51 will go for $1.47 stop. Where's $1.47? Right there. Okay, so we did happen to get in lower. Got into Tizzy, $1.51, $1.47 SL. We'll see what happens here. Ideally, I would honestly at this point like to get the stop a little bit lower, like $1.44 would have been great, but we'll see if we stop out on this one. I don't want to risk it. I don't want to give it extra room for no reason. So if we stop out, we stop out. Maybe we take another entry. Otherwise, we'll see if this can start to form an uptrend again. We did get a harsh rejection there off that resistance line, so we'll see. HLBZ, it did hit $1.52 there a couple times. Looks like it's getting rejected off that. Not really anything for profits there. We're still kind of waiting. HYFM breaking down, so we won't be touching that quite yet. Tizzy hitting that $1.47 area, so that is going to be stopping us out right now. That is Tizzy. Oh, there we go. So we'll be taking that $1.47 exit. UBX looks like it's getting rejected off that resistance line as well. I'm seeing a trend with that. We're seeing a lot of these things get rejected right off resistance. HYFM not really doing a whole lot. This $1.50 play area is not really my thing either. I prefer to be closer to $1 or closer to $2. This $1.50 area is kind of not ideal. HLBZ could be going for a breakdown here. Tizzy's back at that $1.47 area. This is kind of where I'd like to get in, because if you get in at $1.47, hang on, Tizzy, I want to get the alert out here before I just keep talking. $1.60 PT and then $1.40. I give it $1.40. Yeah, $1.44 stop. The thing with this is if you can get this lower than the low, that's basically what you want. So we can confirm that it's breaking into a further downtrend before we decide that we're going to be out. Okay. Let's see what happens with that. HLBZ does break down into stop, so there was a slight chance for profits there, really not a whole lot, so we'll just take that $1.46 stop and move on. There's got to be something worth playing today. V all the way down to stop with the runner. AMPG not doing a whole lot. BCLI not really doing a whole lot. We got RGS. Let's take a look at RGS. RGS is looking okay. We're going from 98 cents to $1.12, so we got a decent range here. Yeah, maybe it's playable. We'll keep that open for now. BBBY, we're just going to close down. SPRC, going to close down. We'll keep UBX open for now. We'll keep HYFM open for now. V will keep open. AMPG, I think we're probably going to close down here. We're not seeing too much price action with this. BCLI, this could have a pretty good recovery. But again, we're going to have to wait and see on that. Tizzy just holding that $1.46 area, so that's where we're going to jump in. $1.45, not moving that stop, even though I got it again about a cent lower. We'll see if we stop out on this. Everything's kind of hovering between a downtrend and uptrend right now. We're kind of stuck in this small range, and it's not looking great on any stocks. So if we take a stop here, yeah, we are. We'll likely just kind of sit on our hands here for a minute. And just kind of watch and wait to see what breaks into an uptrend. HYMF or HYFM is looking like it might actually do that. MACD's curling up pretty nicely here. We do have a small area of support in this area, so that's definitely a good sign. This is probably the best looking option. Of course, Tizzy, nice green candle after stopping us out. UBX still looking pretty good here. It is hitting up higher than the resistance line there. That's definitely good to see. V still breaking down. BCLI still might come back from this. I still have hope with that one. RGS, it's looking okay. We did hit negative on that MACD, but it does look like it's pushing back up. That was a big candle from $1 to $1.05. Spread's about 3 cents, so if you're going to buy in, I would suggest either waiting or limit order, but I do think I want to try an RGS play. We'll go for about $1, I guess $1.02 at this point, because we're up so high already. Gonna go for $1, maybe $1.10, and then 0.99 stop loss. So you're gonna give it about 3 cents. At $1, you can give something about 3 cents. Let's misspell that last ticker. Tizzy. This is RGS. So wherever you get in, make sure that you give it a decent size stop, about 3 cents. So we'll probably be putting our stop, depending where we get in here. Did that actually go through, or did I put one too many spaces? No, that worked. No, I know it bounced right off my stop. I saw that. 1 cent down. It's true. It's true. Every time. It is. All the time. It just touches the stop and then it bounces off. Did you end up taking that with a cent lower of a stop loss? Oh, I hate you. I'm glad you made money, but I hate you. It's so funny that it works. UBX with a massive spike there, going up to $1.67. That's a big uptrend happening there. RGS looking pretty good here. So depending where you got in, could be looking pretty decent here. What was my entry on RGS? So my stop loss at $1.05 could technically be $1.02. Do I need that big of a stop loss? Yeah, I probably need $1.02. Yeah, I would have to say $1.02 would be the stop loss for me. I'd like to have it a little lower, but I can't really afford much lower. We are getting fairly close to that $1.10 mark. I mean, but at $1.05, that's about 5%. It's not terrible, I guess. UBX too high to get into. Tizzy not really going the way I wanted to. HLBZ continues to break down. HYFM also not looking great at this point. I mean, it's looking okay. I mean, there could be a potential play here. I'm not convinced quite yet. I think Tizzy's going to keep bouncing off this resistance line at 157. So if you did get in with me at around 146, 157 is definitely a place to start taking profits. If you were like Jackal and you had your stop loss 1 cent below. Where do you sign up for the free week? We actually just stopped doing the free week. Gone to RGS at 102? No, I got into RGS at 105. So I was gonna get in at 102. I was aiming for 102, but it just wasn't coming down low enough, so I succumbed to my impatience here at 105. So my stop loss is 102. Not quite where I'd want it to be. I would have much rather got in at 102 and then have a 0.99 stop loss. That would have been probably the safest bet. But I didn't see that happening right in the moment. So I took a higher entry. We'll see what happens here with RGS. We're 108. Actually, 108 is not the worst idea to take some profits if you got in with me at 105. Taking some profits. RGS 108. Even though it's pretty small, I'd like to start securing at least a little bit of wins, and that's the thing I did because the rest of it ran right to stop. Now let's see if it bounces off my 102 stop because I have a feeling it might do that again. UBX is on its way back down a little bit here. It hits that support line now. We'll see if it bounces off. If it starts to bounce, maybe we'll take a play on that. RGS, another opportunity at 102 to jump in, and I think that's kind of what I want to do here. I want to go to RGS at 102, maybe even lower if we can get it. I don't know if it will. There we go, 101. We're going to go for that 110 again, and we're going to go for a 0.99 stop. Actually, we can at 101, we could probably go for a 0.98 stop. So let's go 0.98. Then we're definitely breaking into a new low here. I feel a little bit better about this. Even though we're negative on that MACD and we're seeing a lot of selling pressure, I think at 101, there's definitely money to be made. We could take profits here at 105 when we hit it. I think that's not a terrible option. I say when we hit it, but I mean if we hit it. V heading down, UBX, massive drop here. So this is a kind of a buy opportunity on UBX after seeing so much buying pressure. We want to try to get it around $1.50. We're going to try for $1.65 and then $1.45 stop loss. 46 stop loss. We can't really afford a 5-cent stop loss, but a 4-cent stop loss should be fine. So there's $1.51 right there on UBX. We're hoping for a recovery off this point. $1.51, so $1.47. Gives us plenty of room, so hopefully we don't need it. RGS on its way back up here, almost at $1.04. You could take some profit to $1.04. You would be about for 3 cents in profit, so 3%. Tizzy here still hovering around that $1.50 range. HLBZ continues its breakdown, so it's just a series of little dead cat bounces. HYFM continues its breakdown as well, hitting just slightly a new low, I think, here. Maybe not. Nope, hasn't hit a new low yet, so it's just kind of, it doesn't have a lot in terms of price action right now. UBX here with a slight upturn. We'll see if it can break through this resistance. I think we're in a good place. V still dead cat bouncing. We have BCLI heading towards that 200 EMA. And we'll see if it can hold there. If he didn't take profits at 103 or 103 and a half here, we are down to $1. If we break $1, we'd be hitting a new low of market open, I believe. Well, we got 0.99 there at the very start, so I mean, maybe technically speaking, 0.99. Anything lower than that would be breaking into a new low. Tizzy breaking down a little bit here. UBX trying so hard to break that 153 resistance. HYFM not looking good. HLBZ continues breakdown. Pretty slow day all around. Not a whole lot going on. Mondays are generally like that, though. I was looking, the heat map was like completely red. Indexes were up, but heat map was red. So kind of getting a mixed signal from that. I'm not actually sure if I answered your question about the free trial. We stopped doing the free trial, I think, beginning of last week. Unfortunately. I think instead we offer a week where you can buy like a cheaper subscription plan than the month, so that if you want to try it out, you don't have to pay for a whole month. But we don't offer the free week anymore. We did that for a very long time, though. We were doing a free week. I think for a while we were been doing 2 free weeks. I was gonna look up Megal here. Again, see what's going on with that. Did go up to about $11, so it did make a slight move here. There was a little bit of profits there from 980 to about 1140, so maybe it's playable. We're still seeing UBX struggling at 153. If you're worried about making profits today, UBX at 153 is probably going to be a decent place to try and take at least a tiny bit of profit off it. There it goes. A little bit more of a breakdown down to 150. We could be seeing that stop out here pretty quick. Tizzy here does look like it wants to break into an uptrend after hitting 146. So at 146, I do think that I want to jump back in on Tizzy. We could take a chance on it. On days like today, you kind of have to just keep taking those chances until something actually works out. Because eventually one of these things is going to pop, and when it pops, we'll make quite a bit of money off it. 146, go for 160 on it. And at 160, go for 146, we'll go for 140, 142 stop loss. See, I was going to say 143 stop loss, but maybe if I take a cent lower than where I think the stop loss should be, I'll also be safe. So we'll see on that one. RGS is heading back up, UBX breaking down to that 147. So if you didn't take profits at 153, you will be stopping out. Even though it was like 2-3 cents profit. Maybe you got 3 cents profit. Let's see here. Went down to 151. Yeah, maybe 2 or 3 cents profit. RGS looks like it did hit a low there of $1, and then started moving back up. Hang on, we've got a spammer on the YouTube now, so now I gotta go over here. Okay, there we go. So RGS is back up to about $1.03, might be heading up to $1.05 here. UBX breakdown. Tizzy here still kind of struggling to break through that resistance. HLBZ heading down. We'll take a look here. We got FPay popping up. We can take a look at FPay. This doesn't look very good, but I do think there's still potential for a bounce. UBC is still potential. There's not a lot I want to actually close out. I think Megal's the thing I just can't see myself playing. FPay is looking pretty good here, going from $1.91 to $2.40, so almost $2.50 there, just touched $2.50. So it's looking pretty good. VWAP bounce, probably likely to see, so we'll wait for a VWAP bounce on that. We've got GIGM. Again, running up from $1.60 to just over $2. We've got a decent range. Looks like price action's kind of broken down recently, though, so we might not have much to play there. And VTS, another one going from 590 to 670, so not a bad range on that. Again, price action's a little spotty, so I'm not really into that. Got Posh. Yeah, Posh too high. Let's take a look at BWAV, Guav. Yeah, nothing there. All right, cool. So FPay's not looking too bad. It is at that VWAP line. We could try an FPay trade here at 230. Oops, 230. Try to bring it up to 250, and then a 220, 224. Yeah, we'll give it 224 for a stop loss. Didn't do it this time. I should have put it 223 because 224 was the first number that came to mind. So 223 would have been the safe number, but we'll see. UBX looks like it may be coming back here, but it's so hard to tell. RGS still looking okay. Tizzy is still looking okay as well. We'll see about that. All right. Just making sure I have all of these ledger. Okay. FPay at that 230 level. So if you were looking at a buy-in point, it would be now. I'm going to jump in. Gotten a little lower. I mean, you could technically move your stop loss lower if you want to. It did dip down that far, but I was waiting for that 230 entry. I ended up getting a little bit better. You know what? I think I will move mine down to 223. Not 222, but 223. Because I could technically go down to 222 at 228, but I don't think I need it. We're at 235 currently, so it's looking okay. These are very bullish candles so far. Well, this one is fairly bullish. This one's pretty bullish as well. Very long tails on them, which is definitely a good sign. Lots of buying pressure. It does look like the sellers are keeping it down quite a bit, but we'll see. This could continue its breakdown, but we could see the curl up here as well. So we're kind of banking on the curl up. If we hit that 235 area again, you could think about taking a little bit of profit, but really there's only about 7 cents. I'd really rather hit 238 and take that 10 cents whole. And we'll see if that ends up panning out for us. Oh yeah, no, yeah. I was asking on YouTube. That's funny though. Um, no, Mondays have not been great lately, but yeah, we show up regardless and we play them, and you never know because it's the one Friday we don't take. It's going to be the Friday that really takes off. So, or at least that's my greatest fear. HLBZ does look like it's coming back a little bit here. Can remove that red line. It did break down quite a bit, but did break back above that resistance line. FPay back at 230 here. We have RGS not really doing a whole lot. BCLI, it is bouncing. We are seeing much lower volume and very little to no price action. So I think that, yeah, this is not working out. I don't think that's going to be playable. I think we'll just close that down. UBX also doesn't look very playable right now either. We can wait it out maybe because we're still seeing price action and we're still seeing volume. It's just not heading in the right direction. On IS, I'll take a look. I mean the pre-market looks okay. There's quite a bit of data there. Market open, it did look like it ran up quite a bit here from 450 to 470. So it's okay range right there. Now we're back down to 445. I think the range is a little too slim and the risk is a little too high. All around, I think this is probably going to maintain an uptrend from that 200 EMA. I mean, it might hit that 200 EMA and bounce off. But this is probably something if you want to play it over the next couple hours, not the next, 30 minutes kind of thing. But it definitely could be a decent play if you wait patiently. I'd be probably looking to either get in at that 200 EMA of 439 or maybe at the low here of 443 and then try to put your stop. Probably give it like a little bit of room below that 200. So, if you get in at 440 or, give it about 10 cents room down to about 430. That's what I would do with that stock. RGS. Oh, yes. And the other thing is, it's kind of a one-way street. People that are on the YouTube can see your guys' chat, but you guys can't see the YouTube chat. The YouTube chat's not really like anything great or anything. I think there's only a couple people that watch off the YouTube from other Discords and stuff. But if I'm answering questions and it's not from this chat, it'll be from that chat. The UBX might be coming back here. Tizzy still looking okay. It's not really breaking through. If we hit that 157 resistance, I might take a cut on that. FPay with a breakdown. So if you didn't take profits at 235, you will be stopping out on FPay as well. And we want to take a look at QRTEB. So this is something that's kind of been running for quite a while. $8 halted up at 8 or 986 here. So I mean, it could be good. We'll have to wait and see if it unhalt or when it unhalts and what it's doing at that time. But it could definitely pay off. FPay, however, looks like it's probably going to continue this breakdown a little bit. So we're going to see. I mean, I can see this coming down to about 217 here. Yeah, we even had a little gap down. We're having like these weird like sessions of less volume and gapping, and it's not looking great. Today's not looking great. All right, HYFM getting very close to that 200 EMA. That could be a potential play. HLBZ coming back a little bit. This might be a day where the afternoon actually ends up looking better than the morning. Kind of hard to say. What's ES doing? Crazy that ES actually went up. All right, FPay is sitting very, very low right now. 208 would be the next one I'd expect to see some sort of resistance at, but again, we're seeing like no volume, so kind of hard to say. RGS hits 105 there, or 104. So if you were looking to take profits on RGS, not a lot, but today we're not aiming for a lot. We're aiming for just some small wins here and there. It's working out with the very small wins, I think. But it's very, very slim. Like so far we're only up $1,200 today, which is like literally 4% on the account. So I mean if you're new, that might sound great, but it's really not great. That's not a lot. What do we have? We're up 15% on alerts, and we've hit 1, 2, 3, 4. Four trades ended up being red. And then we've got Tizzy here, which is open, so that one doesn't count for anything yet, but we are technically slightly green on Tizzy as well. FPay does look like it hit that 208 area with a little bit of a bounce back. So this could be, you had a loss, 3 loss, 1 win. Yeah, that's basically what I'd expect out of today. Yeah, if I'm only slightly green, I expect most people will be red. UBX not looking great. Tizzy, I think Tizzy's going to be the winner. It's going to be a slow one, but I mean everything's moving slow today. RGS so far has we've secured at 104. I would still really like to see 110 out of it, but my God, like things are just moving so slowly. I don't know if that's ever going to happen. If you're green, that's good. Then you made the right choice. If you stopped when you were green. Yeah, my first trade on HYFM went well, and that was literally, oh, I guess the V trade went pretty well too. We made almost 6% off V. So those two trades are basically holding us up, the pre-market HYFM and then that V trade. The rest of them have been really, I mean, like they've been 3% wins, so they're not bad. UBX is only 1.3%, and then FPay we got 3% when it hit 235 there. Besides that, really, that was a. I gotta double check those numbers because I feel like that didn't look like 3%. 228, that's why it wasn't 230 to 235. Yeah, it was okay. We did hit down to 203 on FPay. It's kind of hard to tell where the bottom on FPay is going to be. I really don't think we're going to get much out of that at all. RGS is at 109 here. This is much higher than I thought it was going to be. Definitely taking profits there. Definitely want to secure some profits on RGS around that price point because I honestly never thought we were going to hit that in a million years. So, and that's pretty close to PT. Can't really go wrong with that. I think that actually should help out our day quite a bit. Yeah, now we're up to 20%. That was a whole 5% extra right there. That's awesome. I still think that we have a lot of work to do if we want to make this like even remotely worth our time for this hour, but we'll work on it. FPay is not really looking great. I still think we could get RGS higher. There's 110 right there, so that is actually PT. RGS. I'm not going to take profits at 110 because I just took it at 1.9, but we'll wait a little longer. Maybe we can get a little more out of it. If we break the high here of 113, we could definitely see this thing rock, so we'll be waiting for that. V looks like it's heading lower. UBX not doing anything. Tizzy's at that 146 area. So this is kind of that area that, you know, if you haven't taken any profits on Tizzy, maybe it's worth taking the break even on it. If you have taken profits, probably worth letting it run and see if it can bounce back up and maybe go higher. HYFM just continues this breakdown. Very ugly candles. HLBZ also looked like it was going to do something and then didn't. So this is why we're mainly seeing on our hands. RGS is at 116. We're going to be taking some profits. Taking some more profits on RGS 116 and leaving a small runner. I don't want to leave a lot in this because obviously now we're up really, really high. Like crazy high. I didn't actually expect us to hit that high at all. Honestly, 109, I was pretty happy to see that, but we did break into a new high here, so I want to leave like a small runner just on the off chance that we do happen to hit the big win on this. I mean, it's been a pretty decent win. If I go back to the trade summary here, this RGS trade's already at almost 14%. So that really helped out. That really helped out. That's what I was kind of talking about. That's kind of why we kind of keep playing on even crappy days like this, because you never know when a stock's going to do something like that. You're going to make a decent amount of money off it. I really don't think that's going to make today a banger or anything. We're up to almost $3,000 on the day, but that's still really, really tiny compared to what we've been doing normally. So, yeah, it is what it is, though. We'll see if this can push any higher. Tizzy's breaking down a little bit here. Broke down right to that 200 EMA. Our stop is literally right below it at 141. We'll see if that stops us out or not. We'll have to wait and see for that. We do have a fair bit left in the Tizzy trade, so we're going to have to wait and see. QRTEB opens up. We are up very big on QRTEB, or up very high on QRTEB, but I want to take a play on it. Maybe go for like 10.20. It's $10 safe. $10 is looking like it's probably the very, very bottom, so I don't want to give it more. You know what? We could give it a 9.90 stop. You know, it might even get lower than 10.20 though. We could probably try for a 10, maybe 10.10, and then 9.90 stop, and then we're gonna go for an 11.50 PT. I mean, we might take profits earlier than that if we get it, because with a day like today, you're just gonna end up taking profits early most of the time. But we'll see what happens here. Jumping in here at 10.12, our stop is going to be 9.90. We could give it more room. You technically could, because 9.90, oh, that's 9.93. 9.90 is really not a big stop from 10.10. You could probably give it a 9.80, maybe even a 9.70, but I wouldn't really think we would need it. If it drops past this, I think it's going to be done. 10.40, that's 30 cents profit, or just about 30 cents profit. I'm going to secure some profits here. QRTEB 10.40, just securing a little bit just to ease the pain if we do hit the stop. Okay, so we're going to see what happens with that. Tizzy's breaking down into that stop, so if you waited, you didn't take profits, and you also didn't cut early, you're hitting stop now. RGS is still kind of bouncing around fairly high. QRTEB almost came down to the low again there of $10, so it's a really good thing we didn't pick $10 to stop, because that would have been fatal. It still might be. I mean, we still, yeah, there you go. Just one volatile strike and we're out on that with the remainder. But we did secure a little bit of profit on it, so not the end of the world. We did end up slightly green on that. Brought down our average a little bit, though, which kind of sucks. I still think this could be bullish, though, so perhaps we take another play off VWAP here. I think that could be a decent idea. QRTEB. We'll go for a 9. Yeah, that's a lot of volatility, though. Going from VWAP here at 980 and a drop down to 960, that would be basically the stop at that price point. You know what? We're going to leave it be. It's too volatile. There's really no clear indication of support at this level. We'll just leave it be. I don't want to be playing lotto plays when we're up a little bit. You sold at $1.03. iLeg, you took the Megal VWAP bounce. Let's take a look at Megal again. I want to see that. Hey, well, that looks like it paid off pretty decently there. If you took it around, like, you know, maybe you got in at 10.50 there, up to 11.20. Not bad. And then the other one was iLeg. We'll get rid of this because this has like no volume right now. iLeg is looking pretty good, actually. I like the way this is looking. We are seeing a confirmed uptrend, which is very, very important. That's not something we're seeing a lot of today, so I do want to jump in on iLeg. However, we're probably not going to do it up here. We'll probably be aiming at about 330. We'll go for about 360 with the 320 stop. So the problem with 320 is it's very, very close to that VWAP line. But might have to jump in even higher if you want to make money on this. That's the problem too, is This looks like it's already starting to run. Yeah, maybe we jump in higher here. That could be the play. Yeah, I kind of missed it. PSTV, we could take a look at as well. PSTV does look like a decent opportunity for a bounce here. We'll have to see how it plays off this resistance, though. If it breaks through, maybe it's playable. Still waiting on iLeg here. I haven't quite decided if I want to jump in or not. UBX is up back to that 150 mark. Tizzy's back to that 146 area. HLBZ still not. So you know what? We can close down HLBZ. We can close down this one as well. We're gonna leave that one open. We'll leave these open. I don't think V is gonna be playable. RGS could be played off the VWAP here. 15 minutes left. Do I really want to risk giving back the profits we've made on this? MACD is almost at that zero line, so we're going to wait a little bit on that. We did hit as low as 344 on iLeg here. I mean, that could be a decent opportunity to jump in. Got a harsh rejection on PSTV here off that 200 EMA, which is kind of what I was worried about. So I think we're going to leave that be as well. We'll just sit on our hands here for a minute with these trades, see what happens. iLeg's back up again. We're still seeing a lot of momentum on iLeg. I think we just have to jump in. Jumping in high on iLeg. About 340-ish. We're going to aim for 380 with the 3 and a 3. Maybe just a 325 SL. $325 from 340. Yeah, that looks about right. So normally I don't call when I'm getting in something higher, but if I'm getting in something and it's like dramatically higher from the entry price, I have to rearrange all of the parameters, because if it's not close enough to what I originally was going to do, then it becomes a problem where I have to change everything on the trade. So that's kind of what's happening here. I was hoping to get in at 330, but that's not going to happen. Somewhere around 340 is a lot more reasonable. So that's likely where you're going to end up, is about 340 to 345. This could go higher than 380. It could also stop here at 360. Kind of hard to tell. This is going to be a momentum play, so we'll just see. Yeah, no kidding, eh? It's funny that YouTube has these, I don't know, just spammers. And it's just like, want to find love? I will help. But it doesn't have, I guess the name is the link, 69mega.com. Interesting. Okay, so anyway, since I was distracted here, I guess we're getting in pretty low on iLeg here, pretty much where we thought we were going to be getting in. So that's not bad. I don't think I need to move that stop down very far, or if any. That MACD or the VWAP here has moved up quite a bit now, so I'm okay with the stop at 325 where it is. And I feel better about that trade because our stop is a lot tighter. RGS looks like it's holding VWAP really well here. However, that MACD is still sitting very, very close to the zero threshold here, which kind of worries me, so I'm going to wait on that. UBX not doing anything. Tizzy's here not really doing a whole lot. ES is still kind of dropping. This looks like an area where ES might make a move back up. PSTV, yeah, it looked like it could have been a curl up. The problem was the resistance, and I think that's the problem with most of these plays, is resistance is always in the way of it. I'm going to take some profits here at around 350 on iLeg just to secure some. Taking some profits. iLeg 350-ish. Just to secure about 10 to 15 cents is what we were aiming for on iLeg here for the first scale out. RGS hanging on to that VWAP line. Let's see if it breaks down. MACD is broken down. And this is why we waited instead of jumping in on iLeg, or on RGS, sorry. Might have a little retracement here. This could pop back up, but I think it's more likely that this drops. I like not looking bad. This looks like a healthy consolidation here. Everything else is just kind of dead. So boring. Oh, turn's popping back up. We were playing turn on Friday. Yeah, not looking great. I really don't like that price action. Kind of almost barcoding at this point. SNPX. Nope. We could try. Yeah, there's really not a lot else. Let's take a look at FPay again. Possibly, maybe, nothing. Yeah, nothing there. Hey, does anyone know how to get it to stop you from asking to confirm to close something down? Sometimes it does, sometimes it doesn't. It's really annoying having to click that extra button. Really hate it. It's the small inconveniences in life that really get to me. Hey, up 1K on futures, not bad. Way to go, man. Yeah, futures are looking pretty predictable, I would say. Um, yeah, it's not looking bad, that's for sure. Yeah, I'm still an I leg with a runner. This still looks like a healthy consolidation, so I'm not too worried about it. I got 10 minutes left, so we'll see what happens. I don't think we're going to open up more trades. I'm not really seeing anything worth playing. RGS is breaking down, and that was the last thing I saw that maybe had potential to bounce again. But with that MACD being so close to that zero threshold when it was just sitting above VWAP, we ended up not really seeing much of an opportunity there. When you start to scale out, do you move your stop loss up or do you always leave it where it is? I always leave it where it is. That's not necessarily the best option. You could technically move it up. I'm usually pretty good at watching my trades, so if it starts to look bad, I'll just close it. But for the most part, I think that it's okay to scale up a little bit. I mean, like scaling up to break even after your first, or moving your stop up to break even after your first scale out isn't the worst option. It could save you a little bit of profit because if you scale it the first time, like scaling out an iLeg at like 345 or whatever, what did I get out? 340, 346 or something. In either case, though, I mean, if you run this back into stop here at 326, depending how much you scaled out, that could just mean a break even for you already. Whereas if you move this up to your break even point or like right below the the support line, that might end up making your win a little bigger. But it's kind of a risky game because if you do it too tight, you end up stopping out on it when you could have had more profit. So it's kind of a back and forth situation where you kind of have to be careful when you're moving your stop up, but it could save you or it could hurt you. I just don't do it because I can manage my trades manually pretty well, and I'm able to watch them and watch all the other charts. And when it does hit stop, it doesn't really kill me. Usually, it's like the second scale out where I usually hit stop on the runner, or usually if it's the first scale out, it's because I didn't think it was going to go up much higher, and I scaled out most of it on the first time, and the second time doesn't hurt me too bad. RGS still sitting low. UBX not doing much. UBX actually looks like a very slight uptrend here. Do I jump back in when I get wicked out? It kind of depends. It depends how the stock's looking, and it depends on how I'm feeling that day. Sometimes I'm just too salty to jump back in, even if I know it looks good and it looks like I just got stopped out on volatility. But it also depends on how that volatility really played out, because sometimes the volatility can stop you out and then you'll jump back in thinking, okay, it was just volatility that stopped me out. I can make this work. And then the second you jump back in, you just get stopped out again with volatility. So you have to kind of measure out, like, was that like a one-time kind of thing where the volatility just spiked you out and it should be safe again? Or is it something that's going to be constantly kind of moving up and down that far? And if so, you have to kind of rearrange where you're going to enter again, because you never know what it's going to look like after that. I kind of want to look at QR tab again. Nope, QR tab. Yeah, that's just heading straight down. I leg right down to stop here after hitting 344 again. Yeah, that was a nasty drop. Yeah, see, like something like this I would not jump back in on right away. This was just like went from like no volume to straight down. So RGS is on its way back up. Looks like a good curl up here. It is breaking through that resistance line a little bit. UBX is also looking good. I'm not sure I'm going to take another play. I'd have to see something pretty damn great at this point to want to take another play. I think we're doing okay for the day. First portion was pretty bad. We're up to about 4,300 on the day. So we're not doing too bad. 37%, 37.5%. We're going to count those half percents because that really counts today. But once we started taking profits early on things, it started working out better. Although looking back at it, like those two HLBZ trades that we lost on, I don't think it would have helped us there. I don't think there was any chance for profits on that. There was very slim profits. Oh, look at that. Another one popping up on man, these spammers, like they come in hot and they come in fast. iLeg, yeah, definitely looks like it's going to continue its breakdown. RGS hitting resistance and suffering. And we have UBX here, which looks like it did break above. That 200 EMA might break above the VWAP line. It is at that top band, so this is definitely not a place where you'd want to jump in. You wish you held longer on RGS? Yeah. Yeah, because you sold at 103, right? Yeah, it's so hard though. On a day like today, you go from like not taking any profits and stopping out on everything, and then you're like, okay, I'm gonna be taking profits quickly, and then it just takes one time for like a stock like this to go from, what was our entry on RGS, like 99 cents, and it goes all the way up to $1.15. Like, that's nuts. So sometimes there's just no winning. Today was like pretty close to a no winning kind of day. I like halfway through the day, I was pretty convinced that this might be my first red day in I'm not sure how long. I think it was April 2021 or something, or 2021. I think it was 2021 was my last red day. But I kind of thought that this might be it. That would have made you really green, yeah. It's so weird that like some days will literally be up like 150% and 99% of you will say you ended red. And then there'll be like days like today where I'm like, oh, there's no chance anybody's getting out of this green. And then it's like most of you are even a little bit green is good. It's actually, yeah, definitely a good day to be at work. You'd probably be making more at work than you were trading today, that's for sure. Tizzy with a nice green spike there. We've got RGS looking like it does want to move up. Yeah, Tizzy's looking... Yeah, see, though, like, we're just going to make it to that resistance again. If we break through this resistance and we're not in this trade, I'm going to be upset because we took Tizzy here a couple times hoping to break through a resistance and it never did. Yeah, it did take off hard. I mean, like, if it's shortable, I haven't checked, but if it is shortable, I'd be looking to get in at 157 for a short. That's what I'd be doing. Bring it back down to 145. I have more faith that Tizzy will reject than it will break through. Oh, you're talking about Megal? Let's take a look at Megal again. Megal, oh yeah. Look at that. Couple of really nice candles there. $10.50 to $12. This is where like this is a stock where I gotta say, like, I've been trading so long that I'm very comfortable playing a certain range, and something like Megal's just on the outside of that range where, like, if it looked really good, I would have taken plays on it. But since it looked like just okay, I'm like, you know what? I'm more comfortable playing these stocks. They're $1 to like $5 or $6, So when we get to something like Megal, it looks okay. I'm like, well, I could probably find a better opportunity with something I'm more comfortable playing. But on a day like today, if I just taken the chance with Megal at like 950, we probably could have had some decent profits. In fact, there was like almost no downside at that point, right? So um, stuck in my ways kind of lost me out a little bit on Megal, but there's some days where it works out too. Or there's some days where I do break outside that shell a little bit and I'll take plays on stuff like Megal if it is looking good and I can see a lot of reasons to jump into it. Or if it's just like a really good looking day and everything's running, then yeah, it's a lot easier to jump in on something like that. Yes, I would agree. RGS has a lot of support at the dollar area. Um, I would definitely be looking to buy back in on that dollar area with a stop at like 0.98 or maybe even 0.97 or something, just to see if it can hold. You don't really need much more indication other than that. Besides that, though, we're basically, yeah, see, rejected. Hit 157, hit like basically right at 157, got rejected so far. It's gonna prove me wrong here. In any case, we're down to like 2 minutes, so we're just gonna quickly go over the trades for the day. Um, Friday was great, 162%. Today, terrible, 37%. However, you know what? We kind of turned it around for the last little bit there. We made a couple very, very tiny scalps, but some of them worked out to be okay. And that's the good part. As far as the money board goes, we only made 4 grand today, which is really terrible after making 14 grand on Friday. But you know what? Not a whole lot to complain about there. We're still at about 30K for the month off of $500. So we're still looking pretty good. I don't think there's a doubt in my mind that we'll hit 50K by the end of the month. I think that's going to be fairly easy to do. Win rate actually went up again a little bit to 62.5. I think yesterday, or I mean Friday, we were sitting at 670, sorry, 72. I think I said 62. I think we were at 72.1 or something. So I think we did manage to move up a little bit. Nah, it must have went down because this looks like we hit a worse ratio today than yesterday. Definitely. So I think maybe we were at 72.9 or something on Friday. Yeah, I think so anyway. But in any case, you know what? We did okay today. Considering the kind of day that it was, I think we did okay. So I'm happy with that. It does look like Tizzy's going to get rejected here. It has hit it a couple times, and we've seen that rejection. So I wouldn't be banking on it breaking higher. RGS definitely looks like an opportunity here around $1, maybe even $1.02 if you're feeling risky. iLeg also something to keep an eye on, and Megal obviously is a big winner here. It looks like it's going to break even higher. So keep an eye on that. Could be something worth playing. Other than that, we are out of time for the day, so hopefully you guys ended green. Apparently, quite a few of you did, so that's definitely good to see. And I will see you guys again tomorrow. Take care, guys.